Hello, hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Hope in Between with Major, my mama's favorite hope dealer, and my good sister Eunice Elliott. She's pretty hilarious and gifted herself. Eunice, how are you doing today?
I'm tired, boss. I'm tired.
I was tired. I was tired.
I'm tired, boss. I'm
Listen,
happy to see you as always.
yes,
I'm excited for this episode as always.
yeah.
But come on, let's get on. Let's do
Let's
it. Hurry up.
let's get
Hurry up.
into it. Before we do anything else, I want us to lock in on catching our breath, something that I encourage every single time before we make a move, before you get into the throes of life, the pulls, the tugs, the hurry ups. Catch your breath. On the count of three, deep breath in. I said deep people. On the count of three, let's do this together. One, two, three. Let it out. One more time. On the count of three, take a deep breath in. One, two, three. Now let it out. Now, this time, I want you to think of all of the things that are on your agenda, all of the responsibility, all of the anxiety, all of the worry, all of the frustration, all of the roles and responsibilities, the duties, the triumphs, the trials, the difficulties, the beauty of life. Let's take all of it in. One, two, three. And let it out. While it all matters, while it all deserves attention, I want you to understand that catching your breath is the most essential of them all. Never let life rush you so much so that you forget to catch your breath. Yes, life is gonna life, but while life is lifing, make sure that you're living. And you do that by acknowledging the breath that's in your body, which then clears the channel to make way for the good that the present moment is offering you, the answers that the present moment is giving you. Catch your breath, beautiful people. This is the Hope in Between. I think this is going to be a really cool episode. Eunice. Ah,
Wow.
man, I'm excited. Tell me about what you did this past weekend. Talk about it.
I'm on still on the road again.
Right, right.
Um, So, where were we? Oh, Fayetteville, Arkansas, Springfield, Missouri, and Wichita, Kansas.
Mm,
And all great shows, all great times. But it is a true energy pool to perform, to travel, to perform, to engage, to take pictures, to sell your merch. And so by the time I get back into my home space, it's like, ugh, I'm
right.
exhausted, but I feel good. I feel like I'm definitely moving in the right direction creatively as an artist, as a professional entertainer, all those good things. So it was good. Good weekend. And
Yeah.
you, what did you do?
Well, I had a pretty busy weekend, a busy week.
Wonderful.
But it was productive. It was
Okay.
very, very productive. I was very excited because we just ended the week that we call Grammy Week, and so we had quite a few activities. I participated in a an effort in partnership with the Recording Academy, Music Cares, and also the Hip Hop Caucus, which is an organization that focuses on environmental justice, realizing that in this whole push for civil rights and inclusion and all of these pieces, we have to understand that our environmental justice is just as essential because oftentimes what we find is our ghettos and our hoods are often put in places that are environmentally at risk,
Mm-hmm.
where they may
They're
be
gonna
by
flood first. They're in the
factories.
flood zones. Yep.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. All of that. And I didn't realize it until I got older that there was language for that. And systemically, it was
Mm-hmm.
intentional, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Because I remember even in
Dream
Houston.
Hampton has done a really great documentary about that
Who is
whole
this?
story. Dream Hampton.
Okay, yeah, I'll check
She
that out.
co-wrote, yeah, co-wrote Jay-Z's book, and she, music industry. She also was Surviving R. Kelly,
Oh,
executive producer.
well, 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 yes. That was a great endeavor. I will say something that was funny is I I was told, Major, you can collaborate with this initiative because I wanted to do a major hope activation, which I generally do during award season, where we promote one of my songs in tandem with the message of hope for the foundation, and we just do an activation where we pass out roses and maybe a gift or gift cards. And so I was like, oh, this would be a perfect time for me to put together an activation where I'm passing out roses and I have these stress balls that have I Prayed for You, my new song that's available everywhere, y'all. That's also
Mhm.
number 22 on the Billboard charts, y'all. Um,
And also,
and also nominated for an NAACP Image Award, y'all. And this
okay.
is the last week where you can vote. Vote.naacpimageawards.net for I Prayed for You Major, outstanding Christian gospel song. I'm super excited about that. But getting
And
back
let
to
me
the
say something about the
oh,
voting process, because
yes,
some
yes.
of us have multiple emails, and
Woo!
you can only vote once from an email. So
Yeah.
when you go in, know all your emails so you can use every email you have access to vote.
Yes, that
Okay, go
would
ahead.
be
Mhm.
pretty epic. I'd be honored. Listen, you can click the link in my bio on my Instagram. I will say it again, vote.naacpimageawards.net. Go to the recording field, click the category Outstanding Gospel Christian Song, click Major. I Prayed for You. Submit your votes into your email. That's one email per vote. So if you got 50, tell to get all of them. Appreciate you. Tell your cousins and everybody to do it. I'm super excited about that. But back to the activation. I'm really
Mhm.
excited to bring all this stuff. I pack some gift cards in the packaging for the stress balls. It's like super cool. I arrive only to find out this is a packaging center at the YMCA downtown where they're just putting all the things together to send out to the community. So people aren't coming to pick up things that they need.
Oh,
So
uh-huh.
my roses would not travel well. So I have 6 dozen roses, maybe eight, but I think like 6 to 8 dozen roses, and they're yellow with the orange, so it looks like flames. It's beautiful, just to really kind of symbolize beauty for ashes, and just we're going to come out of this like a phoenix rising. And so I have
You
all
put
these.
some thought into it. You put a lot of
I
thought
did,
into
I
it,
did,
except
but I
for
can't.
reading the email about where you was going.
Yeah, and Dawn Richards from Danity Kane,
Mhm.
she's a part of the organization Hip Hop Caucus, and
So
she's
that's where I met Dawn, is at the screening of Dream Hampton's documentary about what you're talking about.
okay. Well, then there it is. Well, then there
There
it
you
is.
go. Mhm.
And I'm actually, yes, my one of my managers, Calvin Span, he talks about, I think, this documentary about
Mhm.
environmental justice. So shout out to that. Look at this small
Yeah,
world.
look at that
But
small
they had
world.
to figure out, they were able to pack my stress balls or whatever. So someone in the city that was impacted is going to receive that, and I'm super excited. Gave him a Starbucks gift card and also the stress ball of I Pray for You. So we did that activation. It was beautiful. I then did the Grammy Gospel Salute. I was really excited about that. They honored Mary Mary, Warren Campbell, and Arnold Turner. I don't know if you know Arnold. He's an incredible photographer that looks out for you on the red carpets all the time,
Mhm.
makes you feel seen. So it was a beautiful time. I sang my song for that. Did another global affair uh, and performed for that event. It was super incredible, but we get to the Grammys.
Okay. Now, let me say, I know the theme for today's conversation, and I was almost about to compare. No one knows the theme yet, but I was about to compare your weekend to mine. Like, well, that sounds more interesting than Fayetteville and Wichita, but I'm not going to do that.
But let me tell you this,
Continue.
we were
Continue.
we were both locked in purpose,
Yes.
doing what we
Yes.
do, our gift making room for us because you're on
Continue.
tour. You're on
hmm
tour. I'm able
hmm
to be amongst peers to celebrate the work that I've been doing. Listen, we both
hmm
doing it. Um,
yeah, we're okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you was at the Grammys, and I
Grammys.
wasn't. So continue.
It's this year I wasn't nominated, but I was there to support so many folks. Um,
hmm
it looks like I was intentionally there for one, uh, Cowboy
You
Carter,
did. I've seen
but
some
but but
clips.
but you know, I
Mhm,
I rocked the cowboy hat as well. I'm also
mhm,
from Houston. We've been country, you know, Americana is
mhm.
my thing, but when I tell you the night was incredible. The Grammys raised over $7 million in
Oh, wow.
for the victims and survivors of the fires. It was a beautiful night. I was moved, invited into the particular area where the rest of the super A-listers are, and I know a number
Mhm,
of them, but it just
mhm.
feels pretty amazing when you're invited to come and sit amongst the people that inspire you, and it was just incredible. I laughed with Gaga. I told her, I said, I pronounce your name Lady Gaga sometimes when I'm trying to, you know, make a joke or two. And she bust out laughing. And we had a great time. And I was joking with Bruno Mars. Little did he know I was fanning out the whole time. I'm just like, you're freaking Bruno.
Uh-huh.
He's my favorite artist. But the biggest moment of the night was seeing Beyonce finally win Album of the Year. And she was deserving of it, and it was incredible. And one of the videos that went viral was of me, uh, Lady Gaga, and Cynthia Erivo flipping out over the
Mhm.
win. Um, it was an honor to be able to witness that. I'm yelling H Town. She probably didn't hear me, but I still yelled it. Super happy, super proud of the progress that the Recording Academy has made. Very intentional for the diversity, equity, and inclusion of it all. Seeing
Mhm,
Alicia Keys speak on that, it's not a burden, it's a gift.
mhm.
DEI is a gift. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is a gift because we can then be able to be awakened to the differences and the brilliance of the dynamic that is humanity for all that it offers.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, that
Toni
I'll stop
Morrison
there.
famously said, "If someone else has to be on their knees for you to feel tall, it speaks to your smallness." Continue.
I'm just gonna eat one of my Grammy edition Lay's
Oh,
potato
show us your
chips.
Grammy edition chips. You got the grab bag, you got a gift bag. Look at
Listen,
him.
aren't
Oh
they?
my
Isn't that nine
goodness.
black and gold? You know I love them black and gold because I'm out too.
Mhm.
But I rocked this
Mhm.
hat at
Yes, you
the
did.
award, and everybody was. I got a lot of love. I got a lot of love. But anyway, it
You
was
do get a
amazing.
lot of love. I had a show last night, so I was not able to see the Grammys. I did get a message from a friend, and let me see. I'm pulling it up. It says, "Is that your friend Major in the cowboy outfit I keep seeing?" I said, "I don't know
Cowboy
where you see
outfit,
him."
not just hat. Like I
Just
was
reading. Once you put on the hat, it's a cowboy
right, right,
outfit.
right,
Everything else go. I'm at my show. I'm like, I don't know where you see
right,
Major.
right.
Like,
I'm
what do you
sorry. I'm
mean?
about to hit the stage. Is that okay?
And she said, "Okay, I think that was him, LOL. He had some really good seats."
It was really
So,
amazing. It was really
yes.
amazing. I got to see my folks Pam Chestnut and Morris and Pam Chestnut. Um, my old classmate Esperanza Spalding, Money Long. It was so many people. Lena Waite, just so much good energy, and I was amongst the camaraderie, and it
Yeah.
felt so good. My big brother Robert Glasper had to humble me, and I'll talk about that when we get into our theme. But
Okay.
listen, I am grateful. I am grateful. I'm gonna continue working, putting in work because I want to hit that stage one day. Yeah.
That's I wanna ask you about that. What is it like being such a dynamic performer yourself, being there for the performances on that particular night? I mainly mean I've seen the clip of Doechii,
Woo!
who I'm a big fan of. Like, what is
That
that like
Dolce,
watching something like that?
it's inspiring. It's like, all right, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
We got, come on, we going in. We got this. Um, it's so dope to see artistry unapologetic in real time.
Mhm.
So many artists up there. I forget the name of the guy that he does flips. Literally,
Yeah, I something with B, a double B name, but
let
I'm
me
not familiar with him, but I've been seeing people talk about him in his blue jumpsuit or something.
brilliant. Like he
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I gotta find him. But listen, brilliant. Literally brilliant. I'm gonna find his name. Ray was brilliant. So many artists up there just doing their thing, and Sabrina Carpenter. That set was brilliant. That was it's like I love old school, the nostalgia of the golden
Mhm.
years. And she brings it to now. Billie Eilish, who's my new homie. We did, our selfie. She
Mhm.
we talked. I'm sorry. I seeing
Well, hold
Kendrick
on.
do
I
his
hope
thing.
I can finish the podcast because my toes are broken with all the names you've dropped, and it's
Oh,
gonna move me.
listen, let's get into it. That's enough talking about me and
No,
my.
well, let me say, I'm excited. I'm proud that you were there in the room where you belong. And as it's, it's like that 6 degrees of separation. That was like what less than 1 degree of separation for me. I was there as well. So I had a great time. Thank you. We look cute in our cowboy outfit.
Oh my God.
Because that's still a
Vince.
big deal for someone to say, "Is that your friend?" That I'm like, I don't know. But it's like, well, yes, yes,
Yes,
that is my
yes, it
friend.
is.
Yes,
Yes, it
yes, it
is.
is.
And
Yes.
it was awesome to see all of the people, you know, uh sending messages in real time. It just hits me. And I don't get used to this stuff. I haven't gotten
Mhm.
used to it. Even me being on the radio, like I'm not used to that. Like I'm
Yeah.
grateful for it. And it's just it's just wild just to see it. The show found my episode play. You got to go
Right,
back
they
to
came on last week. How'd that
you got to
go?
go back to watch it. It's on Peacock.
I
It's
will.
streaming on Peacock. It's good. It came out really good.
Really.
You were
Yeah,
you're
I had a show Thursday night,
right.
or no, I was traveling or something. I don't remember why I didn't see it.
Tell people how to
Um,
get tickets for your tour.
you can go to euniceelliott.com. That's my name.
Yeah.
Uh,
And you can
back to
find
you.
out more information on tickets there, y'all. Listen, it's
Yes.
she delivers well. She's funny for real
Yeah.
in real
Okay,
life.
so now back to you. Look, I know he's like, okay, so back to you.
No, I want us to get
Yes.
into
No,
this
I'm
show.
saying, listen, this is the thing. The Grammy night is what? The biggest night in music
Yeah.
in the world, right? And so for you to be in the room, for you to be involved in the activities, for you to get a bag of Grammy chips, come on, let's go. I mean,
Woo!
ah.
So cool.
So tell me, okay, so the way we do the podcast, we talk about potential themes. We don't discuss them in advance, though. We just throw the theme out there. And when we press record, that's when we find out what we're thinking about the theme.
Right,
And
right.
so you suggested a theme for today. And when you suggested this theme, I was like, does this have anything to do with what you did last night? So,
Uh,
what is the theme for today?
you call it out. Do you remember?
Yeah. What do you mean? Do I remember? Don't I work
The
here?
detriment of comparison.
Yes.
The
The detriment
detriment
of comparison.
of comparison. Y'all,
And so I don't know what he's about to say, y'all, but I was like, does this have something to do with last night? Do tell.
listen, it showed up last night, but it is something that I've wrestled with my entire life. You know, and we'll get to possible reasons why. Um I'm in an industry that is a competitive industry, the music industry.
Mhm.
And when we talk about Grammys, when we talk about opportunities to perform on certain stages and to do this or to do that, or who gets amplified this way and who gets promoted this way, you can find yourself caught up in the vortex of comparison. And you may have every intention in the world to not be a person to compare yourself, but it's easy to get locked into it because the industry literally will do it for you if you don't do it.
Right.
And
Right.
so I have recently been warring with it and challenging myself to really do a better job at maybe acknowledging the thing that I'm like, hey, that could be cool to have that or to do that, and and quickly bouncing back to, but isn't it cool what I've gotten, what I'm able to do? You know,
Mhm.
isn't what I'm able to do pretty cool too? Like
Well,
both
wait,
can
let me ask you
coexist.
something about that.
Okay.
When you say if you see something, you say, "Oh, that would be cool to do," and then you bounce back and say, "But what I do is cool, whatever." Are you saying in a jealous way? You say, I mean, because if not, it feels like, "Oh, that's you. I'm inspired. That's
So
great.
let me
Wow."
say this. I have, because I've been an independent artist, firstly, I'll remind people of this phrase, and it is true. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Hmm.
It literally will rob you of the opportunity to enjoy the goodness of your reality because you are locked in on a thing that, one, is not you, and two, does not belong to you. And I don't want any of us to get caught up in this vortex that is comparison, because it will only harm you. It will rob from you. It will take from you without needing any of your permission. You actually give it access to do it when you perpetuate it, when you partake in it. And so let me
Okay.
give you the
Oh,
situation.
but look, hold on. Before you give me the story, I would like to bring up something from one of my favorite books about what you just said.
Beautiful.
It's said in a different way, and basically, it is. I have the book in my hand. Stand by, because you said comparison is the thief of joy, which
Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly. I do not compare myself to anything or anybody, because the way I was raised was that I was convinced and told, because my mama said it, that I was the only one. So what would there's nothing to compare myself to, right? So there's this book that I
Wow.
wrote, 10 things your mama never told you but mine did. Unconventional
That
wisdom to
part.
navigate a world with
No, no, no.
confidence.
Don't
Okay.
don't speed past that. Say it one more
But let me
time.
tell you, this is my book one of my books is 10 things your mama never told you but mine did. Unconventional wisdom to navigate the world that cares nothing about you or your feelings. And each chapter of this book is something my mom would tell me that as an adult I look back and say, "Wow, she
Hmm.
got me ready." Cuz don't nobody care about my feelings and I'm
Right.
still going, shine. Chapter 1, because it is that important. Chapter
Hmm.
1, the title is "You Are So Very Special." But remember, you ain't special. Okay, be clear. Okay,
That is
you the only
so
one
right on.
on the planet. You are so special. There's nobody like you. You have never existed before. There will never be another you. There's nothing else to look at other than the mirror when you talking about you.
Yeah.
Also, and you still got to
Yes.
be a good person. You still got to show up and you still got
Yes.
to do the work. You still got to. So you are so special. But remember now, you ain't special.
That is so beautiful. I'm kind of, I
Continue.
liken
Mhm.
it to the y- no one is better than you, and
Not one.
you are not better than anyone else.
Exactly.
And
I
what
respect everyone the same. I
ex-
don't I mean, I can be a fan of someone, but I generally tend to have great relationships with people that I admire because they can feel that even though I admire them and respect them, I haven't put them on a pedestal. I mean, we still I'm you ain't I mean, you here with me, right? But also if it's somebody else that society or the perception might say that they don't have what I have, you have that and more probably if I get
I,
to know you, but I don't move based on that.
s-
And that's
s-
that comparison now that you introduce social media into our lives and that takes it times 25 billion.
yeah.
But continue because you are in an industry where we all are. Whereas, well, this person sold this many tickets, this many
Right,
albums, or
and they
this
literally will
person
have
started.
you, they
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
will have you pushed right back in the space of, no, look at this comparison. Because
Look at
I mean,
this. Yeah.
because at the end of the day, business requires comparison. But when you live there, that is the danger zone. Like I think it's fair enough to allow comparison to inform you on what you can work on to develop, but comparison in the sense comparing using comparison in the sense that I need to do what they're doing in order to feel validated according to what they're doing. That's where there's danger. And I think one of the things that I've got caught in is it I love to see everybody winning. But my thing is, one, I know that there's room for all of us to win. So I'm thinking, why am I not allowed to win with you? Like we can all win at the same time. Why can't we all be killing it?
Do you feel like you feel like you are not allowed to win?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's like only a certain few can have a part of this moment. Or
Okay.
so I ran into my big brother, and he's a pretty well-known artist, and he has this big event, and I was talking to him about being a part of his event. And I was like, man, when you gonna have me do it? Like, and he's talked about having me do it for a minute. And he was like, I need to know some of your numbers, which is once you start to pull in the analytics,
Right.
comparison starts coming into this thing. And I said, well, I bring in this many numbers usually for my shows. It ranges from this to this. And I said, my natural nature, not because I wasn't happy for the person, but I'm like, but you've had somebody else on there that doesn't bring in as many that I have, and you've had
Mhm.
them. And he says, they're a bigger star.
Mm.
It was the most humbling thing. And as he said that, I'm like, but they're still not put. He says, bro, they're a bigger star. There's different things that they're looking at. And he
Right.
says, but
Right.
beyond that. And I said, no, actually, wait, you are absolutely right. I had to stop him because I was convicted by thinking that I needed to show my worth by comparing myself to somebody else's worth. And literally, I was convicted. And I just told him, I was like, man, thank you. I almost like got the tears of thank you,
Yeah.
because I think what I've been doing a disservice to myself, and it's a part of that imposter syndrome mess. It's a
Mhm.
residual of that, where I start thinking that because a thing does not happen for me, this must mean they must not think I'm qualified for it. But
Mhm.
just because you don't get a thing does not have any bearing necessarily on your qualification. It's on
Right.
who they want to use. And
Mhm.
sometimes your analytics won't add up to what you think is a standard of their validation. And so stop, because what you're doing is inviting a negative energy into a positive possibility that could work for you, but is now perverted because you bringing in a comparison now contaminates your trail to possibly getting the thing that you want. And you don't
Mhm.
really get to enjoy it when you have it. But I was so
Right, because now you're
grateful.
coming in it with so much pressure, so much expectation. Well, okay, now I'm here. Now I got, and
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
okay, I thought you was ready. Thought you was ready. Thought you had it.
Oh my God, Eunice. And that's one of
Uh.
the things that I get from you, that I've learned, because you don't compare yourself. And at least
Mm-mm.
I haven't seen it.
No,
And your
I'm the only
language,
one.
your
I'm the
language
only
helps
one,
me to
though.
see that. But when
Yeah,
you first encountered me, you helped me see you're one of one.
that's it.
You're one of one. Like
Right.
nobody does it like Major, and you don't do it like them. And you're one of one. And I speak this for so many people. But I'm telling you that if you are not steadfast, that's why I always encourage the catching of the breath. That's
Mhm.
why I also encourage people to go daily into the recentering of you and your
Mhm.
faith practice, so that you are not caught up
Mhm.
in the periphery, the peripheral distractions, or the dances that go all around you to try to pull you off course, because
Mhm.
my lane is my lane. And if I'm
Right.
paying attention to other lanes whilst driving in my lane, I'm bound to run into something.
You cannot run a race looking at who's running with you. You the only one in the race. But here's the thing, let me say this. And I love that you got convicted. I love that you can hear it and know it. And all of us, it's almost like losing weight. We all know how to lose weight. We might not know how I'm going to lose weight, but I
Mhm.
understand the concept
Right.
of, burning more than you bring in. We got that. That don't work for me, but I understand the science, okay? Well, that's the thing I think about. The conditioning in this society is for you to compare yourself, and it's not even just for you to compare yourself. You can be minding your business on your couch, and the messaging on TV will say you don't even have the best tide. There's new and improved tide. The
Right.
tide you got ain't even good. Okay, and you're like, but wait, you told me to buy that
Doing
one.
away with
you know
perfectly good tide just to get that other
now
tide.
it's new and improved. You don't have the best.
Right,
Okay.
right.
We've done better. Right. And so we are conditioned to be more like your sister, be more like your brother, be more like, and so that's just the conditioning. Right. And then we get inspired, and then we have mentors, and we have role models. And so we are conditioned to find someone to try to be more like. And I think that is the problem, in that you can glean a lot of good and bad behaviors from people you spend time with. Bad
Right.
association will spoil you habits, but it's one of those things, like how you and I come from very different places. Of You are very open to the possibility of everyone's greatness, and I am pretty sure most people ain't trying to be great. Okay.
And I have to be okay with that. That's so good, yo. This is so
They
good.
not trying to be great. That's we ain't gotta talk about that. So what I'm saying to you is, what you never know, what no one ever knows, when you look at somebody doing the thing you would like to do, or the thing you wish you could do, or the thing you strive to do, what you will never know is what they had to do to be
To
there.
get there.
And it's not saying they worked harder. It's not. It's
It's
like
just
you just don't know
you
what
just don't
somebody
know.
had to do. Now, but what you do know is what you haven't done. You
Right.
don't have to know what they did, because that's literally none of your business. But you do know what you haven't done. So stop looking at them and say, oh, you know what? But I haven't finished this script. But I
Right.
haven't done this. I haven't sent that email. So I can look and say, oh man, she just sold another script. Wow, she got a development deal with HBO. Wow, she's in this movie. And if I'm looking at that, I can just say, wow, let me tell you, just like your Grammy seats last night, so many people I know, like connected to, like can have a conversation with, that can reach out to, are getting these great opportunities. I get excited that they not from outer space. It's available. I can touch these people.
Yeah.
Because at some point before you were part of the arts, it was like, wow, somebody who has an album came from the moon.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you can make an album. How you told me, no, don't rush through that. There was a time when you could write a book. Oh
Right.
yeah, I've written 3. Keep it moving. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? And so as you matriculate in your own life and what you can do, wow, I can do that. And I remember when I didn't know I could do that. And wow, I can do that. And I remember when that was and look at me now. Not look
Right.
at them and look at that. It's wow, look at me. Look
Yeah.
at me. Look at me now. Who else I know my dog said the same thing. Who
Right.
else am I looking at for my journey?
That's it.
Right? Now I can say, wow, I used to didn't know people that were in movies. I used to didn't know people that were on TV. I used to didn't know people that was at the Grammys. Look at me now. Not how come I wasn't at the Grammys.
Listen, Eunice, every single thing you said, yes. Every single thing you said, yes. I have come to realize that we move, and I've said it before, in the context of not being moved or discouraged by people's inability to fully see you in moments, because people judge and make decisions based on the limitation of their greatest experience. So if they haven't experienced something to the degree of what you are, they can't provide anything because they have no information for that. So you can't take offense to it. Just give grace on they haven't arrived yet. They haven't gotten it yet. But it still applies even for the person who compares themselves, because your my information will always be limited. I don't know the full scope. I may even have a lot of information on the physical of what they've done to get to where, but there's a whole mental layer, there's a whole spiritual layer that is a part of it. And the possibility, because I remember having this awakening when you start seeing that people that pass away early, and you're like, and they, some of them have lived these big abundant lives of doing things, and they pass away at a young age, and you're so busy thinking, we're the same age, why haven't I done this, why haven't I done this? But Amy Winehouse is no longer with us. Won Grammys, was on the top of every chart.
And you would not want to trade positions with her journey, with her life, with
Right,
her struggles.
right.
And here's the other part about that.
Yeah.
You know, what if you are judging your garden or a tree because it hadn't grown at the same rate as the tree next to it? You wouldn't dare. You would
Wouldn't
find the
care.
beauty in that tree for that tree being that tree. And that's the only tree that's growing out of the ground on that place with its own root system. And guess what? Sometimes you might see a bigger, taller tree, but the roots are not as deep and it's going to fall over quicker than the one that has not gotten up, but
Talk
it is
heavy,
deep down.
talk
Do
heavy,
you hear
talk
me?
heavy,
So
talk
I am
heavy.
secure in the foundation of me and who I am and what I
Yes.
bring to the table and my talent and my ability. I open for someone who I put on stage for the first time 2 years ago.
Yeah.
There's no ego involved because he has an amazing fan base that's going to buy the tickets, support me. And the joy for me is, guess what? When I walk out there, they have no idea who I am. They lightweight kind of don't care. And in that 25 minutes I'm on stage, I have them eating out of my hands. And
Yeah.
that's the power of me. And they come out there and say, where can I find you now? I'm around.
Beautiful people, you have heard it clearly. Draw inspiration from the things that inspire you, but comparison is not where you want to live. Stop thinking because it worked for them, it has to work for you. What is for you won't miss you. Yes, I'm talking to myself, but I know I'm talking to somebody else too. I want us to evolve to a place where we're okay with showing up fully as ourselves. Because when we do that, we provide an answer to a need in the earth. But when we do the opposite, by chasing down the trends, trying to do what somebody else did, we chase down an already answered need, leaving our need unanswered and unmet. And that's why many of us feel unfulfilled. Comparison, there's a detriment there. Yes, you can acknowledge for the information. Yes, you can admire for the information, for the inspiration, but lock into you and do you like nobody's business. There's Bruno, there's Lady Gaga, there's Beyonce, there's Billie Eilish, there's Eunice Elliott, there's Major. Listen, we can all win in the time that we're meant to win. Yeah, this was good, Eunice.
Yeah.
This was
I,
good.
I I think you received that. I think you were surrounded with greatness. And I'm excited to see how you metabolize that energy for yourself.
That part. Beautiful people, this is The Hope in Between. Another great episode with Major and my good sister Eunice Elliott. Until next time, catch your breath and remember hope ain't ever canceled. Yeah.